I hope you're enjoying the weather.
If you're in the UK,
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, for me,
if you're lucky enough to live in Spain or any of them places, then obviously you're gonna be fortunate enough.
I wouldn't really want to live in those places at this moment. There's a lot of wildfires going off in this at the moment, especially in Greece. They've hit above 40, I think, and they've had to deal with a huge wildfire. So I mean, I'm not really. I mean, I can't really stand this kind of weather. I've never really been a fan of it, and because I perspirate really easily, I sweat really easily, and I get warm fairly easily. I just can't. I just don't. I just can't stand this weather. I've never really minded um, how the UK has its summers in the past. I've never really minded that because it's always been kind of cool and it's always been, you know. But there's no moisture in the air. It's just too dry for me. I mean, you get thirsty really easily. I mean, I only have to take a few steps, and all of a sudden I'm thirsty again. I mean, look how big this bottle of water is. I've never had that's 2 litres. I've never had to deal with this kind of weather before. In 2 months straight, we've had temperatures soaring over 24 degrees. And the last time we've had something like that was in 1975 here in the UK. 1975. And that's saying something. We're not the only ones though. Finland's getting it. Norway's getting it. Scandinavia's getting it. You know, the whole of Scandinavia's getting temperatures like this. And they're saying it's not normal for them. It's not normal for them at all. And I do believe that it is climate change. I really do. I do believe it's global warming.
Well, that's what it's down to.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you know, I do believe it's that. Some people don't believe it, but some people think it's normal. But it's obviously not normal. It's not. It's like believing the Earth's flat. No way is that.
Unfortunately, some people do believe that.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, right, the people that don't believe that climate change is real is the equivalent to believing that the Earth is flat. It's just pure in denial about ignoring the actual facts. If you look at the past, even in my lifetime, I'm 31 years old. Even in my lifetime, when I was a kid, I've never seen summers like this before. We've always had kind of shit summers. We've always had this kind of summer where we've had a few days of 20. The amount we got to was at least 24, 25. Right, and we was like, wow, this is really hot. This is, you know, and I'm like, yeah, this is great, but we didn't have it that long. So, I mean, the grass is dead. There's a few little green patches here and there, but it's dead. It does look a bit like Spain. Spain really hasn't got that much grass because of how warm it gets, and if the warmer it gets, the less grass you're gonna have. And it is global warming. Come on, if you live in the UK and if you live in the Scandinavian countries or Russia that have been having temperatures soaring over their average, if you've never witnessed this before, surely you've got to think, this is not right, and it's not right.
I mean,
and I can't stand this kind of weather. I really can't. I can't go out in the sun for so long. I hate it that I don't like feeling tired, and this weather makes me feel tired, and it makes it's normal for it to make you feel tired. If someone's beating down on you like this, it's bound to drain it out of you.
I've already had more than 2 litres of water this morning.
Exactly.
But I drink more water anyway.
Yeah, but you know you've got to have it in this kind of weather. Before you was just doing it because you're just really looking after yourself and it's habit. But when it's weather like this, you're doing it because you know you have to drink it. If you don't drink water in this kind of weather, I mean, I've seen people drinking Coke and Pepsi. That ain't gonna help you. It's gonna dehydrate you. You're drinking it at the moment, but you've had a load of water.
Exactly.
Today, so you can afford to have it.
Yeah.
But if you're just drinking Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, Cola, Fanta, 7-Up, or even beer, if you're drinking those kind of carbohydrated water, drinks, carbohydrates dehydrate you. They dehydrate you. And if you're not going to drink water in this weather, wow, I'm sorry, but you're going to get a hell of a. It's going to get worse for you.
I mean, on average, I drink in a day. On average, I drink.
Can you move up a bit more? Yeah, that'll do. I'm in the sun.
Yeah, sorry about that. We have to do slightly. Yeah. I drink 6 litres of water a day, sometimes more.
I drink about
now, people may
4 or
say
5.
that's excessive, but maybe it is. But, I'd rather drink that much because I know it's good for me, because it flushes out your system, all the toxins.
And it stops
but
you
also,
from being dehydrated.
Yeah.
And with dehydration comes
I even do that when we don't have this.
Yeah.
Because it's ensuring your body working.
I mean, the saying, right? Let's look. I mean, let's look at it this way. If this carries on, I watched the news the other day, and I don't know if you've seen it, but farmers are struggling. The farmers are struggling. Agriculture struggling. If the farms are struggling to feed their cows and their other animals that they have, gosh, man, I feel sorry for you beef eaters. I feel sorry for you meat eaters. I really do, because if that carries on, they're going to starve to death. They've had to put their hand in the emergency reserves, because their grass is dead, and the cows are used to roaming around freely, munching on the grass in the field. But I saw the landscape. I saw how parched the landscape is in the farms, and it's just crazy. It really is how dead the grass is, and because of that, they've had to dig into the emergency reserves. They've had to have other help. But all of this stuff, it was for the winter. Well, it's not supposed to be for the summer. It's supposed to be for the winter. Emergency reserves then. But gosh, wow! I mean, I might become a vegan now, because if this carries on, which it will, I mean, experts have said, right, that this is going to become the norm if we don't do anything about it. And if we don't do anything about it, which we probably won't, we'll probably just sit on it and just think it'll go away. They say they're trying to do stuff about it, which they probably are. I mean, they probably are. They probably are, but we need it quick. We need it soon, because, I mean, look how many cars are out on the road every day. The CO2 emissions every day, from not only from the cars, but from power plants. Not only from the power plants, from every other habits the humans have. We always emit emissions into the air, and it causes. We're seeing the effects now. We are seeing the effects now. I mean, my garden is an example of that. I've never seen my garden like this before. So it is a worrying time. It really is. And for all you sun lovers out there, you're having a great time. But even you've got to think, this isn't right. This doesn't feel right. We're not naturally this kind of country. We're not. We're in the north. We're supposed to be one of the cold countries in the planet, and we're getting this. Don't know about you, but I'm not really liking it.
I get on with it.
Huh?
I just get on with it.
Yeah, I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying, it's not right.
No, it's not right. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
people are gonna do what they want. Like, people are still gonna drive cars. Like, the CO2 emissions are still gonna rise every year. Right?
Negative.
Everything's gonna rise. So, not to get all political, but the government has chances to set things in motion
Even your laptop's struggling.
to try and put, things in place to try and sort out. But they don't. Right?
It's only going to get
Right.
worse. I mean, if you look at the future generations, right, they're going to have to put up with this shit. We're introducing genetic modified resources.
Yeah, but it's not unstable at best because they're not really thoroughly tested out.
Yeah.
They're just flipping.
But they're still experimenting until they reach.
Which is a bit dangerous in my opinion.
Yeah, but they've got to do it. They've got to do it. If they don't do it, then we're going to run out of food in later years. I mean, how much stuff is natural nowadays?
Sure. Well, I've got an idea. Why don't the government get in contact with that big plant in America?
What big plant?
There's a big plant in America where they're like, because of the meat crisis, there's a big plant in America they're basically they're genetically like.
Are you talking about the ones that modify farm animals?
Yeah.
As in lamb, cows.
Yeah, because there's a big plant in America.
All the essential animals that we tend to eat.
Yeah. There's a big plant in America. They're still just doing it.
Yeah. Well,
why not contact them? Because people, like, regardless of what the government trying to do, there's still going to be people who want to eat meat.
It's like Australia at this moment are farming crocodiles because they eat crocodile every day, and they're farming crocodiles. We're just getting set for the future. I mean, because again, we've just got to. This is what it's going to be like from now on in a way. I mean, we'll probably have worse winters. We're going to have. I mean, look at the winters last year in the US, minus 30 degrees in the northern states. One of them was New York. Gosh, people died. Some people died walking out their houses for a bit, and then they froze. The Hudson River. That was all frozen over, and cars. You just saw everything was just frozen. It was unbelievable. It was beautiful to look at, but it was. Even some of them said this ain't normal. So we're gonna probably get worse winters, worse summers, worse storms. Yeah, just how it's gonna be from now on. It really is. But like I said, even in my lifetime, and I'm still relatively young. I'm 31 years old. I haven't been around for a huge amount of time, and even I'm saying that I haven't seen anything like this.
Well, to be fair, I mean,
if you talk to the older generation, they'll probably would have witnessed a few things like this before. But for me, I haven't. I know that the last time we had something like this was in 1975. That was still in the news, but that was quite a long time ago.
Yeah, well, when you're growing up, you don't really take notice.
Of course you don't, but we take notice now. Obviously you're not going to take notice.
Yeah, but the other people haven't taken notice and done fuck all about it. There's a government.
We don't really, to be honest, we don't really know that for sure.
Oh, you do.
Do we?
Yeah. Well, this isn't gonna be a political like.
Yeah, but I'm saying
But I'm just saying
we
that we're
don't.
just talking.
But
The reason why I say that is because I never believe, and I've said this before, I never believe what the government or politicians say. I don't believe one word, not one. Right? They are in this. They are in this for their own agenda.
not all of them. Not all of them.
Well, unfortunately, they're up against. They're in an uphill battle because I'm sorry, but I don't believe a word they say. I don't. They said a few years back, "Oh, we all sorted it out." What was it done? Fuck all.
Yeah, but
I don't believe anything. That's just me. If you want to believe it, then that's you. But you're being duped. Like, don't believe everything they say. That's what I'm going to say. Say on it.
it's good to question them. Yeah, but
But I don't pay them any attention. So because I don't believe anything they say. That's what I'm going to say. That's why in the JFK video that we did, right? I'm registered to vote, but I don't vote. Because again, I don't believe what they say. I don't trust them.
yeah, but the thing is with that is right. I mean, I used to be like that, but now I realise that if you're not gonna vote, you can't move. If you're not gonna vote, you can't really say anything about it. I mean, the people that I mean, obviously, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people in general that moan about politics, that moan about they want change. But if you're gonna moan and whinge, right? You have the voice. You have a voice. Don't just talk to your friends about it. Do something else, as in vote. If you don't like who's in charge, if you don't like who's in office, use that. Use the democracy. Use your voice. Use the pen and your hand and the paper. Tick the box. So who you want in office, and then there you go. You've done your part. Then you've got the opportunity to vote. To move. Because if you moan and you don't do anything about it, I'm sorry, but it's only going to stay the same.
I'm sorry, but
It's only going to stay the same. It's only going to stay the same people.
ever since I started watching the news, and this was, I'm going to discount myself as being the kid. The first time I really took notice of the news was when I was about 15, 16. Right? And I can honestly say, and I'm being honest, that since then, and it will continue, I do not, and I have never ever believed what they say. Right? Not one. Right? Yes, I am registered to vote. Right? But and if you want to vote, and if you really truly believe that your vote and what you say will make them do something, then go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
But
They have the right to
don't,
do that.
but don't, right? But if they don't do anything, but if they do nothing, don't expect to, you know, get the result you want. Because I'm telling you now, right? Unfortunately, what's happened is there's too much money involved in politics nowadays, right? There's too much money, and unfortunately,
It's not football.
so you think that? Okay, let me ask you a question.
Go on.
If there wasn't any money involved in politics, right? Do you really think that they would do what people want?
Of course, it's money. It's a job.
Yeah, but what?
It's going to be money anyway. It's a job.
Yeah, but you're not. Yeah, but you're not getting what I'm actually trying to say. I know there's money,
Explain yourself.
but that's what I'm trying to do. Right. There's too much money involved in politics to the point where these politicians who've been in the office for 20 or something years or whatever, right? They don't care.
In office?
Well,
As in what position?
well, I'm not saying the position. I'm just saying in office.
If you mean Prime Minister, no one's ever Prime Minister for 20 years.
That's why I didn't mention in the position. I just said in office. Right? They don't care. Right? I would rather use my voice in something that's not involved in that system. Like I'm using my voice for my page, right? Because I know that that will make a difference. But when it's politics involved, no. I knew notice
But we're
that.
talking about politics now.
What I'm just basically saying.
So politics is involved.
No.
If we're going to talk about politics and say that we're not really talking about politics, then that's just contradictory.
No.
Because we're talking about politics now.
What I'm saying is
that politics isn't involved.
No. What I said was, outside, I'm using my voice outside of politics for something I love, which is this.
It's not outside of politics when we're talking about it. How is it outside of politics when we're actually talking about politics?
You're even confusing me now.
No, I'm not confusing you
Yeah,
because
no,
you're saying it's outside of politics and
Yeah,
we're actually talking about politics in the first place.
Meaning, this, the mental health piece, is outside of politics. I'm using my voice for this. That's what I'm saying. So this is outside of politics. It's going to do that. I'm just saying that. But I don't believe anything. But that's just me. You do what you want to do. You know.
I'm sure many people on here will.
Well, that's their prerogative. But you know, don't start moaning if they don't do what you ask them to do.
You can't say that. You can't say that because what if it does happen? What if they do something? What are you going to do then?
Well, this is the last thing I'm going to say, and then we'll move on to something else. They would only do something when it benefits them. That's what I'm saying. That's the last thing I'm saying.
It's going to benefit them anyway if they do something because then it will get people on their side. So it's a win-win then, isn't it?
It's a win-win for them, yeah.
No,
it's not a win-win for that person who wants something changed.
But if they go along with the change, then they're after voters.
Yeah,
if they do what the voters want, then it's going to be.
No, the only reason they're after voters is because they want the voters to
vote for them for the job.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, yeah, because without
voters, no, because they're going to get the job anyway, regardless.
How are they going to get the job when it's a
democratic?
It's a democratic. Oh, you actually believe that? It's a democratic country.
What have I always said to you?
You believe in conspiracies?
No. Set that aside. This ain't about conspiracy.
It is. You just said.
No.
You just said it's rigged, meaning it's a conspiracy. Something that is rigged is a conspiracy.
No.
Yes, it is. Because if you're saying something rigged, it's a conspiracy.
Not everything.
If somebody wins from corruption through someone rigging the system, that is conspiracy.
No, I didn't bring conspiracy into it.
You just did.
No, I didn't. I did not bring the word conspiracy into it.
You're talking about something getting rigged.
No, that's what I said, rigged.
Well, that's conspiracy.
I said conspiracy aside. Right?
Okay.
Right? Don't need to bring that in. Right? What was your question? Because now I forgot.
Question was, right, they need voters to vote for them, right? So basically they're going to need to go with the voters to go with the change, to get the job. Without voters, there's no job. Without voters, you're not going to get the job you want in politics.
Right.
Especially if you're going for the Prime Minister role.
Well,
so you're saying that you don't believe that you believe it's rigged.
Right. What have I always said?
You don't believe in what politics say.
Right, and how often have I said that to you over the years?
Not that many. Only a few times a year.
Because I wrote something on an app I go on, because someone was moaning at me for not doing something and I had to go. Well,
Who was that?
So, well, a little side note. I put on something like what would you like us to do next? And I put down 3 options. Like one of them was the watch out.
Yeah.
And
Which we'll be reading up about.
yeah. And Ben said, don't do that because someone else has already done it, and you're taking away their hard work.
So.
And I basically turned around to him and said, excuse me, everyone can have an opinion. I basically told them, fuck off. In polite terms.
Nobody is original anymore.
No, everybody's got their own opinions and
and
thoughts.
you can easily take an idea and turn it into your own.
Yeah.
Nothing is really original.
No. And I just told them to fuck off in a polite way. Right? But the reasons why
if people who work in the film industry and the people who write books and comics for a living and they went against that restriction and they went along with that restriction, they won't be able to write or make any films ever because they'll be worried about taking somebody else's idea. I mean, look at zombies. Look at George A. Romero. George A. Romero came up with zombie films, and then The Walking Dead came along. They took that idea but turned it into their own thing.
Yeah.
If you're going to be scared of going along with something that isn't really original, you're never going to have anything.
No, and
so she needs to shut
up. Yeah. And anyway, back to what I was about to say before I took sideline. There were a lot of things that I believe in or know that I keep within. Right, like for instance, conspiracies. But I've always questioned things. Right, always. But I've never outwardly said it. Yeah. Not because I'm afraid of what people might think, he's stupid because he believes that. No, it's because you don't know what a person is interested in or believes in. So, I believe, and this is my opinion, and I don't have any judgment on anybody else believing in what they believe. Right, it's a free society. Right, but I believe that the politicians are rigged. Right, because they say they'll do things, right, to pull in voters or new voters, right, they'll get them on board, right, and then they're like, okay, we've got new voters now, right, but that's a mirage, because they're not really gonna do what you want. So they'll basically twist it.
So they're not rigged then?
Well, they are rigged, but it is rigged, because what they'll do is they'll seep you in.
Yeah, but it's not rigged.
But it is rigged, because what I'm about to say is it'll make you think.
If they're voting, it's not rigged.
No, the people who are voting on rigged. But what the big part is, the politicians will take those voters because they're not going to say no to it. But they're going to use that, but then they're going to twist it and make the people who vote like if you want an education system better, right, and you vote for that, right? They're not going to do anything about it because I'll tell you why. The teachers, right, still getting the measly amount because they're not actually being paid properly, right? They're understaffed, right? I mean, I'll give you an example. There was a school in America.
We're talking about England.
Hey?
We're talking about our own system.
Well, our own system, but I'm just using this as an example. Right, in America, there was a school shooting in America.
Canada.
Right.
No, America, yeah. So, USA.
Over 20 kids survived, and these kids took on the politicians.
Yeah, they did.
Right?
They did massive rallies.
And guess what happened? One brave kid was standing up to him, asking them questions. He was bawling his eyes out because obviously he witnessed a friend get shot. Right? He stood up to a politician and asked him questions. But I guess what the politician kept doing?
Kept avoiding the question.
Exactly. He never answered. He kept using the old jargon, so to speak, that they always used. So, that's just one example of what they will do to fit their own narrative. Now, forgive me. I don't mean to offend anyone. So please forgive what I'm about to say. But
Just say it.
if you're that naive, right, and you don't use your brain to figure this out for yourself, right, just think what lengths they will go to. Right, then again, that's just one example. Right, they will do anything to fit their narrative. Because the politician said, I will do what is necessary. Meaning, not necessary for you, but for him. Right? And that's one of the reasons why I don't believe what they say. Right? But you're free to make up your mind. Don't take what I'm saying as gospel. Look into it yourself if you don't believe me.
That means something they'll believe.
But that's what they do. That's what they're good at. That's what politicians are good at.
Well, yeah. But going back to the rigged thing.
And that's why it's rigged. Because
But it's not rigged if they're voting.
No, it's rigged from the politician's standpoint. I didn't say it was rigged from the voter's standpoint. I think that's where you're getting confused.
No, I'm not getting confused. Rigged means you are rigging the votes.
No, I didn't say rigged.
That's what rigged means.
Well, I wasn't on about rigging the votes.
So why say it then?
I'm just saying the system
You're
is
confusing
rigged.
us. You're not.
Well, no.
Well, yeah. If you're going to come up with the word rigged, if you're going to say rigged means you're rigging the votes.
I have explained myself very well.
But you're putting the wrong word in there.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not. Rigged means
no,
rigging the fucking votes.
I do know what it means, and I'm not stupid.
Well, then don't say it then.
Don't tell me what not to say. Please, I'm not in a good mood this morning. I didn't have very much sleep.
If you're gonna say the wrong word, we're gonna think these things, aren't we?
I will say what word I want. Okay,
well,
I'm
you're
not
gonna
stupid.
confuse the watchers, then, aren't you?
Well, no. I've explained myself very well.
If you're gonna say the wrong word in a context, then they're gonna think what I'm thinking.
So I can't say what I want. Let me say what word I want, please.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Well, let me. Well,
I never said you can't say it.
Well, can we just move on? Because it's annoying me now.
Just saying.
Well, I don't. Well, you shouldn't have said that.
Why shouldn't I? I'm being honest with you.
Well, this wasn't the time to say that. You could have said that off camera.
So
but now you just made me look stupid. I'm being honest with you. You just made me look stupid, saying I shouldn't have said that word. Right? I can use whatever word I want. I know what context I'm saying it.
I'm just making sure that the people that are listening and watching know what we're talking about.
Yeah, and I've explained it very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just made me look stupid.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's how I'm feeling. And I'm being honest.
Okay. Okay.
But besides that, just look into it yourself.
So what if what they're reading is bullshit?
What people themselves?
People who can write this stuff about the politicians lying or whatever, right? They can lie also.
Because, well, the thing is, well, again, right, the politicians, right, will put out what they think people will want to hear. So again, it's another way of like hiding the truth. You know, it's like in newspapers, like the media, right? Not to make this whole conspiracy video thing, because we'll keep that. Well, but like with anything in the media, they only put out something when it's in their benefit. Like in the 1960s, right? They didn't fully release the autopsy. the JFK, or they didn't fully release what actually happened. They twisted it. It's only years later until they officially released the documents in 1992, right? Because obviously the government releases unclassified documents every 10, 20 years. That's where all this news has come from. And it's only until you actually, if you're interested in that sort of thing. If you're not, then that's fine. But if you are, then you can find these documents. There's like a load of sites with all these files on that you can just have a look at. There's a new file being released, but it's not going to be released until a certain person in the political party in America dies, and then that unclassified document will be released. Because unfortunately, they have to wait until that person died before they can release it. Because guess what? They don't want it to come out whilst they're alive, because they'll make them look bad. They don't get unclassified documents on the CIA, UFO experiments, aliens, space. There's conspiracies on World War One, World War Two. Right? There's a load of them that you can find out. But again, it's only if you're into that thing and you're willing to open your mind. Because it's true, don't believe everything. Yes, I agree that there are politicians out there that, are doing good. I do get that, but unfortunately they are on a uphill battle.
Yeah.
Because whilst they're trying to do good, there's other politicians doing bad.
But you're always going to get opposition wherever you go in the school.
Yeah.
There's going to be a bad and there's going to be a good. It's like the teaching system.
You've just got to understand that
It's like what's going off in Europe at this moment. You got Brexit, obviously. Sorry about bringing that up, but you have.
But I think people are still affected by it.
We've now got to
quick question.
We've now got to thingy ourselves, wait for the worst moments now, because talking about a no deal, something like if it's a no deal, then that will be worst thing for Britain. So if you get a no deal, the British businesses will have a hard time getting into the European market, and I think they've gone. The government at the moment, the Prime Minister, she's got an uphill battle for a long time now. For me, a lot of the politicians in her party are going against everything that she's saying because they believe that the deal that she wants isn't the right deal for Britain. She thinks it is, and because they are natting at each other, they're forgetting about the fact that they've actually got to go to the European Union and negotiate with them as well.
Can I throw in a curveball?
What?
A curveball plus question. Is it because she's a woman in a top position, or is it the fact that it's just I don't know, but I'm just assuming that all the people among are the majority of the men, and they think that she's going the wrong way about it, or could it be a very good calculated move?
You might be
by
right.
her?
You might be right. With them,
I'm not necessarily. I'm not saying that's the case.
You might be right, because conservatives are known for their traditional ways, and traditional ways mostly mean probably a man being in charge. I don't know, but it's been. You had Margaret Thatcher in the 70s, or the 80s.
Well, she wasn't one to mess with.
You know, no, she wasn't. That's why they called her the Iron Lady.
Yeah.
She always stood her ground. Theresa May isn't as strong as her, of course. No one messed with her. She did what she pleased, and she did what she thought was right. I've got a friend that knows a lot about Margaret Thatcher, and the stories that he's told me. Wow, you know, she was a serious woman. And you know, women are strong-minded people, and a lot of men don't like strong-minded women because they feel like they're being they feel like men shouldn't be weaker than a woman. But women many times are naturally mentally stronger than a man. They are. I mean, if you look at, you know, I mean, they say the hardest job in the world is to be a parent, and you have a lot of single parents out there that are women. You've got to respect them. I mean, I respect them because my mum's a single parent. So I do kind of believe the fact that because she's a woman and there's a lot of old twats, old idiot guys in that office that are trying to undermine everything that she says and tries to do, and they're probably, you know, a little bit sexist. There's a lot of probably sexism in the Conservatives as well. Being old fogies, being old news, going with the old ways. But I also believe that she's just not good enough. I also believe that she's made so many stupid decisions that it's led to a point where people have lost their patience with her. We're going downhill as a country. We need a better leadership. Either it'll be a woman or a man. Just as long as it's better. For me, I believe in the latter. For me, I believe that she isn't good enough. You've probably got a good case where there's probably a lot of sexism going on, and a lot of men in there don't agree with her because of the fact that she's a woman. But the main reason why I think that they're going against her is because I just do not think she's good enough. Don't. I really don't. Because whatever happens, we will be affected. It's been 2 years. 2 years since Brexit. 2 years. And they've still come to no agreement. She still hasn't managed to gather her army, head to the EU, fight this battle, and win. 2 years. I hope it's that there's a lot of sexism. I hope there is, because then it will prove me wrong for the fact that I don't think she's good enough.
There is a lot of sexism.
Yeah, but I hope that's the main reason. Because if it isn't the main reason, and it's the latter, that means we've got a shit Prime Minister.
No, it isn't the main reason.
But we don't know that though, do we? We don't know that. So we can't really say that. We're not in that office. But you obviously you've got your opinion, and I'm not going to take that away from you, of course.
I think, and this is just my surmise, I think the load of old fat men, right, who are too unhappy with there being a female Prime Minister, and they're unhappy that their way of doing things has been swept under them, swept away. Right? So they're feeling inadequate, right? With the feeling of we can't do anything now because there's an old, woman, not saying she's old, but from their terms, and they're right, and they're feeling right. What can we do to unsettle this? So now, right, they have probably caused a ruckus among the party, and so now, she wants to make this deal. Go ahead, right? But when you've got old men who've been in the system for God knows how long, and obviously they know how to pull strings, so to speak, within the party. They'll do whatever they can to derail her, and they'll also do whatever they can to remove her, to get one of their own in. That's how politics works. Ever since it began, right? That's how it works. Right? The man is in power. Anyone else can basically do what they're supposed to do. That's how it's been set up. Right?
Times are changing though.
Yeah, but yeah, times are changing, but there are still
And the reason
people like these who will
yeah, but
go with the time,
but again,
still keep.
But again, you're gonna get opposition. The thing is with society, right? The thing is with society, you've got the old ways and you've got the new ways. The old ways are right, are still bigger than the new ways. The old ways are still a larger percentage than the new way, the new ways. They are. It's going to take a long time for the old ways to move aside from the new ways, right? Because the old ways is what built the society the way it is today.
Yeah,
so it's going to take a lot of time. We've got to be realistic. We've got to be realistic about change, because it's not going to happen overnight.
If they're really change.
But they are changing, but slowly, because people are speaking up. If people are going to be quiet about this, there won't be any change. But there has been changes. I mean, look, we've got feminists that are trying to fight the change. I mean, I know we've got a lot of extreme feminists out there that are fighting things that don't really need to be fought.
One of them comes to mind. Oh, fucking hate.
Jermaine Greer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you listen to what she has to say, then she does make a lot of sense. I've listened to stuff she has to say, and to be honest, she does speak a lot of sense. She does. She grew up in that time where the men were in a huge amount of power and the women were struggling. Right, so you've got to respect the fact that she is still fighting for the.
Yeah, on the one hand, I respect the bond was half the stuff comes out with. I don't flipping none.
The stuff I've listened to talk about, like she was on Good Morning Britain, the stuff she has to talk about, she was going against a lot. She was going against some of these feminists now that were trying to fight. Try to ban grid girls, trying to ban cheerleaders, trying to ban the women that go up in the boxing ring and pull up those scoreboards, those round bits like that. She was trying to ban them.
Yeah.
And she disagreed with them, because she was saying that these aren't the serious matters that need to be changed. The things that need to be changed are the things that is going to affect all of us. And I agree with her. I mean, why she's saying those feminists are focusing on minor issues. Focus on what needs to happen, what needs to be changed, not the things that you just want to change from the fun of it. Focus on the things that need to be changed because they do need to be changed. And I believe that. I mean, okay, I was like you at one point. I did. I mean, a lot of stuff she said, I did think, okay, come on now. But the stuff that she's come out with recently, I'm like, yeah.
But did they catch her on a good day?
Whether they did or not, she still spoke sense. I'm not talking about what mood she might have been in. Everybody can be affected by their mood swings. When somebody's in a bad mood, they talk about stuff that they hate.
But she said, when she said, don't focus on the small stuff, like women being cheerleaders. Which, by the way, another side note, right? There wouldn't be good girls, cheerleaders, or like the women who put the cars up. Like, if it wasn't for the association to ask. So on the one hand, right, they say, oh, we want like women, like gorgeous women or whatever, to come and be with girls, cheerleaders or that, right? And they get the job. They're good for a few years, and then all of a sudden they'll get rid of them, right? So yeah, but she made a good point. right? Don't focus on the small stuff, focus on the big stuff. But the thing is, and for some unknown reason, we never focus on the big stuff. It's always the minor, the little details that gets more attention, right? But until
We are at the time. We are at the period now. I mean, we have gone a bit backwards with Donald Trump being president.
well, yeah, he said it was about 10 years.
He's just
figuratively.
about 40 years.
Yeah.
He's just a muppet. When he, I can,
You know,
Theresa May.
he started having a go at another country,
he has a go at everybody. He's always
and it's a country that he shouldn't be messing with.
Who?
I don't know, but he tweeted about it saying, "Don't mess with us."
He's already messed with Russia, and he's already messed with North Korea.
Yeah, but this country, you do, but
he's already messed with China.
Yeah, but
who else is going to be to mess with?
Apparently, this country is a lot worse than China in terms of.
Who is it then?
I can't remember, but you'll probably if he
told Theresa May to sue the EU. He told Theresa May to sue the EU. He said, if you want to get what you want, sue him.
He's only having a paddy because us Brits stopped him coming over.
Be honest. No, we didn't stop him from coming over because he still came over.
Yeah,
and he had hundreds of people. And he had hundreds of people outside of his bloody golf course and hotel telling him to go home. And he had thousands of people out in the streets of London protesting against him, telling him to go home. You're not wanted. No one wants you here because you are a flipping fool. You are nothing more than a fool. The only reason why you got in power in the first place is because of the flipping morons. I want to just go on a rant here, right? If it offends you, then fair enough, right? But the only reason why he got voted in is because he's a fucking racist, sexist piece of shit. That's the only reason. He believes in silencing, right? He believes in silencing the people that want to fight against it. He hates it because it's the truth. He tried to kiss his wife and she moved away from him.
Yeah, because she doesn't fucking like him.